we started coming to Church on the Rock in 1985 when they were in the metal building over in Cave Springs.
After we moved from different locations, because as we grew, we went to different locations and required more work. But everybody was happy to do that, but Pastor kept casting the vision. When we go from place to place, like when we were at the place called The Closet, he'd have us turn around and wave and say, wave at the balcony, because someday there's going to be a balcony. So he cast that vision. He made a picture in our mind of what was going to be. Each step we took, he prepared us, but he cast that vision out before us. So we went after it.
In that process in between, we were in a school building, and so we were setting up and taking down, and we were the ones who were doing everything to make service happen on a Sunday morning. And then when we got to the North Campus building, more and more people came in, and you just saw the faithfulness of God in every little step that we took. He was there to reinforce that and to encourage us to keep going, to accomplish what he had given us to do.
As Pastor taught us about the faithfulness of God, he let us know that God is always faithful to us. When you get that down into your spirit, then you're willing to go that extra mile. You're willing to go to the next step. And every time he casts that, again, that vision of God's faithfulness in your life, then it just renews that excitement inside of you to go ahead and say, yeah, we're gonna do this next step, or we're gonna do this next thing.
I think when you're in a ministry that is faithful and you serve a God who is faithful, that same anointing that's on them comes down on your life, and so as you begin to follow them as they're following Christ, then you see that happening in your own life. We began to be faithful in all the things that God had called us to do, and then years later you see that passed down to your own children and to your own grandchildren, and see that God has had his hand on them, and that it all started with a commitment here to be faithful in God's house. And then he was faithful to our house.